Hello and welcome. I'm Lori Clements, and this is the Hesed podcast, equipping your community for spiritual formation as we all hope to become more like Christ, allowing His Spirit to develop us into His functional body. This is week 6 of our 8-week series where we will discuss group identity. In Jesus' final recorded prayer, He asked God to bring His followers into an intimate relationship with Him as He was with the Father. Jesus said, "The glory that you have given me, I have given to them, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me, that they may become perfectly one, so that the world may know that you sent me and loved them, even as you loved me." John 17:22 through 23. John Hendricks wrote, "Through Hesed relationships, we can learn how to help our brains metabolize shame relationally to form our character. If we don't know how to metabolize shame, we can't even acknowledge the experience. We would stuff down all bad feelings and live into our false identities where we can pretend to have life in order. Toxic shame will reinforce feelings of worthlessness, being alone, or being a loser. But there is a healthy way to experience shame that encourages us to grow. Let us look into how Jesus handled healthy shame. Jesus would remind His followers of who they are in His own way. In Matthew 16:13 through 23, you will read that Matthew wanted us to catch this principle. When Peter declared Jesus as the Messiah, Jesus confirms that truth and affirms that Peter is not speaking from his flesh, but speaking revelation given to him from the Father. And only a few verses later, Peter hops back into the flesh when Jesus was predicting His death and resurrection. And Peter did not like what Jesus was saying, so he rebuked Jesus, saying, "Surely not. This shall never happen to you." But Jesus, in His love for Peter, points out his shift into the flesh. Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man." Jesus is teaching Peter that they are a people that think about life from a heavenly perspective and not the way of the world. He loves Peter too much to let him say things that are not from God, even if they sound nice. Sometimes loving another person will not feel nice. Here's a story of group identity that hits me in a very personal way. When John and I were living in Angola, I was feeling unloved and unappreciated because I had put my identity on how John treated me based on how I wanted him to love and show up for me. I started making friends with a younger man that was really interested in my ministry. He always asked deep, probing questions and listened attentively to my responses. I noticed that when I dressed in the mornings, I was thinking about what that guy would think about my clothes. Oh no, Mayday, this is not good. I want him to like how I look today. Instead of fighting through this on my own, I went to my closest friends, my most trusted friends. I told them what was happening, that I wanted another man to like me. My friends heard me, validated my feelings, told me of times when they were in situations like that. But then one friend told me to expose my sin. She said, "Lori, you are forgetting who you are. We are not people that hide our sin so that we can look good on the outside. We expose sin and put it into the light." Yikes, that was harsh. But she was right. I forgot that my identity comes from being a beloved daughter of the Almighty God. I forgot that hiding sin would not make it go away. I forgot that intimacy with God was all I need to be fulfilled, and relying on Him is the best place to be when pursuing the kingdom. Yielding to community is how I got through my crisis. I thank God that they did not make me feel bad, but they did not allow me to hide. Character change is the essential work of the kingdom. As we build a Hesed community, we need to learn how to embrace healthy shame. My friend used healthy shame when she told me to expose my sin. She reminded me that we are people who expose sin. Now it's time for you to go talk with your people. I will encourage you this week to find more examples of how Jesus used healthy shame to correct the people in his community, and we will inspect a nice formula of how to use healthy shame in your community from the book The Other Half of Church. Well, that's it for me on this week's recording of the Hesed podcast.